Your body has always been speaking to you in whispers so subtle you have forgotten how to listen. Every thought, every worry, every breath, every unspoken emotion sends a message down to the smallest units of life within you. Your cells, they carry memory, wisdom, and an innate intelligence capable of restoring, regenerating, and healing you in ways you have long dismissed as impossible. Yet for most, this intelligence remains dormant, clouded by doubt, distraction, and disbelief. There is a hidden command, ancient in its simplicity, profound in its effect, a vibration of intention your cells recognize instantly, a signal that activates the natural law of restoration from within. Imagine for a moment lying down tonight and whispering this command directly into the quiet of your being. By morning, your body begins to respond, moving with precision toward repair, balance, and renewal. It is not wishful thinking, not a fleeting miracle. It is alignment with the very currents of life that govern health, restoration, and resilience. Watch till the end, hit subscribe, and remember, your body has always known how to heal, and tonight you can remind it. There is a language your cells have been waiting for, a language beyond words, beyond thought, beyond effort. They have been listening silently for your clarity, your presence, your acknowledgement. Most people live unaware, moving through life with energy scattered, distracted, and fractured, failing to notice the profound intelligence in every pulse of life within them. Yet your cells remember, always. They remember how to heal, to repair, to restore. The hidden command is not complicated. It is not a ritual, an expensive tool, or an external intervention. It is a deliberate alignment, a whisper of intention, a signal of awareness, a conscious act of communication with the very essence of your life. To speak this command is to say, I see you, I honor you, I am aligned with your natural intelligence. The power of this simple act is immense. 30 days of consistently whispering with presence begins to untangle patterns that have kept energy stagnant, creating a flow where healing can occur naturally. Your cells respond not to force, but to alignment, not to belief alone, but to deliberate engagement, to attention that meets them with clarity and care. There is a subtle yet undeniable shift when you whisper with intention. Resistance softens, energy begins to move. Patterns of tension and blockage loosen, giving way to currents of restoration. Healing, once considered distant or difficult, becomes natural, immediate, and unstoppable. The law responds to clarity and alignment, and your body recognizes the command with obedience. The moment you begin, you reclaim sovereignty over your own biology. You activate the intelligence that has always been within you, waiting quietly for acknowledgement. And in that acknowledgement, you are no longer a passive observer, you are an active participant in the art of self-restoration, a co-creator with the deepest currents of life. Every vibration you emit, through thought, emotion, or breath, is a signal to the living intelligence of your body. Your cells do not process words in the way your conscious mind does. They respond to energy, to resonance, to alignment. Most people have ignored this truth, scattering their energy in distraction, fear, and unresolved tension, wondering why healing seems slow, incomplete, or impossible. Yet the body has always known, always responded, always awaited the command carried in pure, focused energy. Energy is the language your cells understand. Every heartbeat, every breath, every intention you carry pulses through the intricate web of life inside you. When this energy is coherent, deliberate, and aligned with awareness, your cells receive a message: it is safe to heal. It is safe to restore. It is safe to become whole. 30 days of intentional energy communication begins to reprogram patterns that have persisted for years. Subtle blockages dissolve, tension softens, and cellular intelligence is freed to operate without interference. The hidden command resonates because it is carried in energy, not words alone. It harmonizes with the innate rhythms of your body, reawakening currents of repair, renewal, and balance that exist even when unnoticed. Your cells respond instinctively, moving toward restoration as if guided by an unseen hand. Pain, fatigue, and stagnation begin to fade, not magically, but as a natural consequence of coherent, aligned energy meeting receptive intelligence. Here is the subtle truth. Every day you neglect your energy, your body receives conflicting signals, but when you become intentional, when you speak the command through presence and focus, the currents of life respond immediately. Healing accelerates, strength emerges, balance returns, and the body, in its infinite wisdom, whispers back, I am listening. I am responding. I am restoring. Healing is not an act of effort, it is an act of conscious presence. Your body has been waiting for you to notice, to be aware, to align your mind with its intelligence. Most people rush into remedies, medications, or external fixes, believing that action alone creates change. Yet without awareness, the body's innate intelligence remains dormant, untapped, unacknowledged. 30 days of deliberate attention, of conscious focus on the hidden command, awakens currents that have long been silent, transforming your very cellular landscape from within. Awareness is not a passive state, it requires stillness, observation, and a refusal to be distracted by the chatter of daily life. Your cells respond not to force, but to the clarity of your attention. Each conscious thought, each intentional breath, each deliberate whisper is a signal of alignment. Energy flows where attention goes. Blockages, patterns of stagnation, and tension begin to soften under the weight of deliberate recognition. The body, sensing your presence, begins to respond with repair, regeneration, and restoration. The subtle shift comes quietly. You may not notice dramatic change at first, yet beneath the surface, currents of restoration begin moving, aligning systems, rebalancing energy, and activating dormant regenerative mechanisms. Awareness creates the fertile ground for the hidden command to work its deepest magic. Your body is intelligent, responsive, and ready, but only when you meet it with presence, with conscious engagement, and with unwavering acknowledgement of its power to restore. Intention is not a fleeting thought, nor is it a wish whispered in desperation. Intention is the silent, invisible command that carries your awareness into the body's deepest currents, speaking directly to the intelligence that has always existed within every cell. Most people underestimate its power, believing that effort, medication, or external action alone can summon restoration, yet the truth is far deeper. Healing, repair, and transformation respond first and foremost to the clarity of your intention, the deliberate direction of your energy toward life itself. When you set an intention, you are sending a signal that the body recognizes immediately. This signal is not verbal, it is energetic, precise, and coherent. Your cells, your tissues, your organs, all of them respond instinctively. They receive the message, align with it, and begin the subtle work of restoration and regeneration. 30 days of daily deliberate intention, spoken silently to your awareness, felt in your breath, acknowledged in your presence, awakens mechanisms that have lain dormant, waiting for the signal of conscious alignment. Intention requires focus. It requires a refusal to allow distraction, doubt, or disbelief to dilute your energy. It demands courage, because it asks you to place trust not in the external, but in the intelligence within. And when intention meets awareness, the law of restoration responds immediately. Blockages that have persisted for years begin to soften. Patterns of fatigue, tension, and resistance dissolve. Energy moves where it was trapped, and the hidden command gains strength, becoming a precise force that orchestrates repair at every level. The subtle truth is this: intention bridges the mind and the body in a way no external force ever can. Awareness alone awakens attention. Action alone stirs movement. But intention is the conductor that harmonizes the orchestra of your body's intelligence. It carries the hidden command into every corner of your being, ensuring that what is whispered in the quiet of your mind is felt in the smallest, most sacred units of life inside you. Over 30 days, consistent intentionality transforms not only your physical body, but the very perception of yourself as a being capable of restoration. The energy that was scattered, the potential that was ignored, begins to coalesce. You become a participant in a dialogue that has always existed between consciousness and cellular intelligence, between mind and matter, between the whisper of awareness and the law of life. Your body is not passive, it responds immediately and with precision to the clarity, consistency, and courage of your intention. And then the transformation becomes undeniable. You feel it first in the subtle rhythms of energy, in moments of clarity, in a lightness that was previously unknown. The currents of repair, once dormant, begin to flow visibly, tangibly, subtly shifting your reality. Intention aligned with awareness becomes the fulcrum of change, the lever that allows the hidden command to operate at full capacity. Healing is no longer distant, obscure, or conditional. It is natural. It is effortless. It is inevitable. The power of intention is not in what you think you are doing, it is in what your body is already prepared to do, waiting only for your deliberate signal to awaken. 30 days of consistent, focused intention transforms potential into action, energy into restoration, and whispers into a force that moves through every cell with precision, wisdom, and undeniable intelligence. This is not belief. This is law. This is life responding to the command it has always known. Silence is not empty. Silence is the language your body understands in ways the mind cannot comprehend. Most people fear silence, rushing to fill every moment with sound, thought, and distraction, believing that activity equals progress. Yet it is in stillness that the hidden command resonates most deeply, where the currents of restoration flow without obstruction, where the law of life moves quietly but with unstoppable precision. 30 days of deliberate immersion in silence amplifies healing, creating a resonance that awakens the intelligence of your cells, allowing them to remember, restore, and regenerate. In silence, the subtle whispers of your being become audible. Blockages that have persisted for years, patterns of tension, stress, and unresolved emotion begin to surface, not to overwhelm, not to frighten, but to release. The body responds instinctively to this absence of distraction. The mind, when quieted, no longer competes with the intelligence within. Every deliberate pause, every moment of stillness, acts as a conduit, allowing the hidden command to penetrate deeply into the architecture of your cells. Healing is no longer distant, it becomes intimate, immediate, and natural. Silence demands courage. To be alone with your awareness, with the rhythm of your own energy, is to confront every hidden resistance you have carried. Yet this confrontation is not conflict, it is acknowledgement. Each pattern you notice, each tension you observe, each emotional knot you recognize, becomes a doorway to liberation. Your body responds to this acknowledgement, as it would to a gentle, precise instruction, releasing, reorganizing, realigning. 30 days of this deliberate silence transforms internal landscapes that medicine, effort, or willpower alone cannot touch. The power of silence lies in its ability to amplify intention. A whispered command, carried through stillness, is heard by every cell, every organ, every system. Noise scatters energy, distraction dilutes signal. Silence concentrates it. When the hidden command is delivered in this pure, uninterrupted medium, the body recognizes it immediately. Energy flows freely where it was blocked, currents of restoration awaken, and patterns of stagnation dissolve, allowing the regenerative intelligence of life to proceed without interference. You may notice subtle signs first: a sense of lightness, clarity in thought, a pulse of energy moving through your body that was previously dormant. Then over days and weeks, these currents become undeniable. Pain softens, tension eases, sleep deepens, and resilience grows. Healing is no longer an abstract idea, it is tangible, intimate, flowing through every unit of life within you. Silence does not force the body, it invites it to remember what it has always known, to respond naturally to the command you have whispered with presence, intention, and alignment. This is the quiet revolution within. 30 days of consistent practice, of deliberate stillness, transforms your internal environment. The hidden command, carried in silence, etches itself into the very essence of your being, creating a foundation for restoration that is permanent, intelligent, and unstoppable. Your cells, long patient, long waiting, now move in harmony with your awareness. The currents of life, once dormant, now flow with precision, power, and quiet inevitability. Healing is not in the rush, the noise, or the frantic effort of doing. Healing is in the deliberate pause, in the sacred silence, in the space where intention meets awareness, without distraction. Here the hidden command speaks most clearly. Here your body remembers. Here your cells respond. And once they respond, restoration, renewal, and balance are no longer aspirations, they are the natural state of your being. Breath is more than air entering your lungs. Breath is the bridge between the conscious and the unconscious, between your mind and the deep intelligence of your body. Every inhale carries information. Every exhale releases tension. Every rhythm communicates directly with your cells. Yet most people breathe unconsciously, fragmented by stress, distraction, and the weight of the unexamined mind. 30 days of deliberate alignment between breath and intention awakens forces within your body that have always been ready to restore, repair, and regenerate. When you focus your awareness on the rhythm of your breath, each inhale becomes a signal of nourishment, each exhale a release of stagnation. Your body, attuned to energy and vibration, responds immediately. The hidden command resonates most clearly when carried on the wave of deliberate breathing, flowing effortlessly to every tissue, every organ, every system. Over time, what once required external intervention becomes internal, self-directed, and unstoppable. The very cells of your body begin to reorganize, to cooperate, and to align with the natural intelligence that has always existed within them. Breath is the medium through which your life force communicates. When aligned with intention and awareness, it becomes a conductor for the hidden command, orchestrating repair at every level. 30 days of mindful breathing creates a rhythm that harmonizes energy, clears blockages, and strengthens regenerative processes. Tension held in muscles, stress stored in organs, patterns of fatigue, all of these begin to dissolve under the consistent pulse of deliberate breath. Your body recognizes this energy as safety, as signal, as permission to restore itself fully and efficiently. The subtleties are remarkable. At first you may notice a lightness, a sense of presence, a gentle shift in energy moving through your body. Then over days and weeks, the effect deepens, circulation improves, inflammation eases, mental clarity sharpens, and resilience grows. Breath, when aligned with intention, becomes a silent teacher, a guide and a conduit for transformation. It whispers to your cells, not with words, but with energy they have always understood. Yet alignment requires patience and persistence. It is not the act of breathing alone that awakens the hidden command, but the deliberate merging of breath with attention, intention, and awareness. 30 days of this practice transforms the landscape of your body from a place of tension and stagnation into a flowing, responsive, self-healing system. Every inhale signals restoration, every exhale releases resistance, and every cell, once dormant or blocked, awakens to its purpose. There is a profound intimacy in this practice. You are not asking the body to change. You are reminding it of what it already knows. You are creating a dialogue where breath, energy, and intention converge, where the hidden command reaches the deepest layers of life within you. Healing becomes natural, effortless, and intelligent. The law of life responds to rhythm and coherence, and your body, when guided by deliberate breath, answers immediately. By the end of 30 days, what began as subtle awareness of breath transforms into a living, moving force within you. Breath aligns with intention, intention aligns with awareness, and awareness aligns with life itself. Your cells respond with precision, intelligence, and unstoppable power. Restoration, balance, and renewal are no longer distant. They are a natural, tangible, flowing state within you, accessible in every inhalation, in every exhalation, and in every moment of deliberate alignment. Resistance is the silent, invisible barrier that has quietly shaped your life, your energy, and even your body's capacity to heal. It hides in tension you carry, in patterns you cannot see, in emotions that have long been buried. Most people fight resistance externally, attempting to overpower symptoms, push through fatigue, or force change with willpower alone. Yet true transformation, true healing, begins when you turn inward, when you confront resistance at its source. at the level of your own cells, and whisper the hidden command with deliberate intention. Resistance is not your enemy. It is a signal, a map pointing toward what has been ignored, suppressed, or misunderstood. For decades, perhaps a lifetime, your body has stored memory, trauma, and patterns of fear. These are carried in every cell, woven into the very fabric of your being. But the hidden command, delivered with focus, awareness, and trust, dissolves this inertia. 30 days of intentional practice releases the resistance that has prevented energy from flowing freely, allowing the regenerative forces of life to awaken and move unimpeded. When you engage consciously with resistance, you do not fight it, you recognize it, you observe it, you feel it, and you meet it with a deliberate whisper that communicates clarity. I acknowledge you, I release you, you no longer need to control my body or my energy. In this simple act, patterns of tension begin to unravel, old blocks dissolve, and the intelligence within your cells starts operating as it was always meant to. Restoration flows naturally, effortlessly, and with precision. Resistance manifests in many ways: fatigue, pain, emotional heaviness, mental distraction. At first, confronting it may feel uncomfortable, even unsettling. Yet each time you meet it with presence and whisper the hidden command, the body learns to release, reorganize, and restore. 30 days of consistent practice transforms what once felt immovable into fluidity, allowing currents of life to move freely once more. Your cells, long held in constraint by unresolved patterns, awaken with clarity, responding instinctively to the signal you are sending. The subtle power here is profound. Your body does not need coercion or force. It responds to understanding, alignment, and deliberate acknowledgement. Resistance, when met consciously, dissolves not with struggle, but with clarity. Energy that was trapped begins to circulate, tissues repair, organs regain balance, and your very cells remember the natural intelligence that has always guided them. Healing is no longer a distant possibility. It becomes immediate, tangible, and unstoppable. Over time, the cumulative effect is transformative. 30 days of deliberate engagement rewrites the cellular memory of resistance. You are no longer a passive observer of your own biology. You are an active participant, a co-creator with the intelligence within. Tension is replaced by flow, fatigue by vitality, stagnation by energy. The hidden command, whispered with awareness and intention, reaches every corner of your being, unlocking power, resilience, and restoration that was always present but dormant. This is the quiet revolution, the release of resistance at its core. Pain softens, energy returns, clarity deepens, and life begins moving through you, in harmony with the law of restoration. The cells, long patient, finally respond fully to your deliberate engagement. 30 days of alignment with the hidden command ensures that resistance no longer dictates the body's rhythm. Instead, energy flows freely, intelligence operates naturally, and healing becomes not an occasional miracle, but the natural state of your being. The law is simple: resistance is only a signal. When you meet it consciously, deliberately, and with trust, it transforms into the pathway for your body to heal, restore, and regenerate. The hidden command has always been there, waiting for your recognition, and once acknowledged, it flows through you with unstoppable, intelligent precision. Your body has always known what to do, long before your mind ever questioned, doubted, or feared. Your cells, tissues, and organs carried the intelligence to repair, restore, and regenerate. Yet most people live in skepticism, overriding this wisdom with doubt, overthinking, or constant interference. Healing requires trust, absolute, unwavering, and deliberate trust in the innate intelligence that has orchestrated life long before you ever arrived. 30 days of consciously trusting your body transforms not just its functions, but your relationship with yourself, and the hidden command flows through every cell, like a river long obstructed, finally finding its path. Trust is not passive, it is not wishful thinking, it is a deliberate alignment between your awareness, your intention, and the innate processes of life within you. When you whisper the hidden command and allow the body's intelligence to respond without interference, every system begins to synchronize. The heart beats with effortless rhythm, the lungs expand with clarity, and even the most microscopic cells begin recalibrating, repairing, and optimizing. Your body does not need persuasion. It responds naturally, instinctively, because it has always known how to do this. Most people fail to recognize the subtle dialogue between consciousness and cellular intelligence. They push, demand, or control, and in doing so, they create friction that blocks natural restoration. But trust changes everything. Trust allows energy to flow freely, releasing tension and activating the regenerative mechanisms that have always been present. Over 30 days, consistent practice of whispering the command, aligning breath, and observing your body's responses builds trust into every cell, embedding a pattern of cooperation between conscious mind and bodily wisdom. The subtle shifts are quiet, but undeniable. Perhaps a tension eases in your shoulders, a clarity emerges in thought, or a fatigue you had grown accustomed to simply disappears. These are not coincidences. They are the proof that the body recognizes trust, responds to alignment, and operates with precision when given permission. The hidden command reaches its full potential because it resonates with this intelligence, unlocking processes that no external solution could ever initiate. Trust also transforms perception. You begin to recognize that your body is not a problem to fix, but an intelligent partner in life. Each ache, fatigue, or symptom is no longer a source of fear, but a signal, a guidepost directing you to alignment. When you meet it with deliberate trust, resistance falls away, and the regenerative forces of your being surge forward. 30 days of consistent practice ingrains this trust into your very physiology, ensuring that your body's intelligence is not only acknowledged, but celebrated, relied upon, and integrated into every moment of living. Healing, in its truest sense, is never mechanical. It is intelligent, natural, and responsive. The cells know when to repair, the tissues know when to restore, the systems know when to recalibrate. By choosing trust over doubt, alignment over chaos, you become the participant in a sacred dialogue that has always existed, allowing the hidden command to operate at maximum efficiency. Energy flows where it was blocked, resilience is restored, and your body begins to perform, not at the limits of intervention, but at the peak of its natural intelligence. The ultimate revelation of trust is quiet yet powerful. You do not need to force healing. You do not need to command it. You do not need to convince your body to act. You need only recognize the intelligence already at work, align with it consciously, and allow it to respond. 30 days of deliberate trust transforms every cell, every system, and every rhythm of life within you. Restoration is no longer optional. It is inevitable. Healing becomes not an effort, but a state of being, flowing effortlessly from the intelligence that has always guided you. Transformation does not occur in a single moment. It emerges in the subtle, repeated acts that signal to your body and mind that change is not temporary, that restoration is not fleeting, that the hidden command is permanent. Daily rituals are the scaffolding upon which your cells learn to operate in alignment to restore themselves and to embed a new pattern of intelligence. 30 days of consistent, intentional practice ensures that what begins as awakening becomes integrated, irreversible, and effortless. Rituals need not be grandiose or elaborate. They are not measured by the time they take, but by the presence, focus, and intention invested in them. A whispered command in the quiet of morning, a deliberate alignment of breath at noon, a pause of awareness before sleep. These acts, repeated daily, send a clear, unwavering signal to every cell. Each repetition reinforces the hidden command, embedding it deeper into the architecture of your being, allowing energy to flow freely, tension to dissolve, and intelligence to operate at its fullest potential. Consistency is the silent force behind transformation. One whisper may touch a cell, one moment of awareness may spark a shift, but only repetition solidifies it. 30 days is the threshold, the period in which patterns of resistance soften, old cellular memories release, and new rhythms of restoration become dominant. Through daily rituals, you teach your body, repeatedly, that alignment is not occasional, but continuous, that healing is not occasional, but inevitable, that energy flows naturally. When attention and intention meet, the subtle effects of these rituals are profound. Perhaps you notice a steadiness in thought that was once elusive, a vitality in movement that was previously dormant, or a sense of calm and energy that no external action could provide. These are not coincidences. They are proof that the body responds to rhythm, to deliberate engagement, to the repeated whisper of intention. Each day, the hidden command reaches deeper, touches more cells, and orchestrates repair with intelligence and precision. Rituals also cultivate trust. As your body responds consistently, you begin to internalize a truth that was previously abstract. Your cells are intelligent, your body is wise, and healing is not effortful, it is natural. 30 days of ritual embeds this truth at the cellular level. Resistance softens, energy circulates freely, and regenerative processes operate continuously without conscious struggle. What began as guidance from intention and awareness becomes autonomy in restoration. The body begins to remember itself as it was always meant to be, intelligent, resilient, and self-directed. The hidden command, delivered daily, becomes more than a practice. It becomes the rhythm of life itself. Energy, repair, clarity, and balance are no longer occasional visitors. They become habitual states of being. Through repetition, alignment, and presence, you rewrite the very template of your body, embedding restoration into the cycles of your cells, organs, and systems. Each ritual, no matter how small, compounds in power, weaving a network of coherence and vitality that transforms not only your body, but your perception of life itself. By the end of 30 days, the cumulative effect is undeniable. The whispered command, the aligned breath, the deliberate moments of awareness, all coalesce into a living, breathing architecture of restoration. Energy flows effortlessly, healing occurs naturally, and balance becomes the default state of your being. Daily rituals are not obligations, they are invitations, opportunities to engage with the intelligence that has always existed within you, allowing the hidden command to operate at its fullest, deepest, most transformative potential. The lesson is clear: transformation is not accidental, nor is it dependent on external force. It is deliberate, it is repeated, it is cultivated. And in these daily rituals, you create the conditions for cellular intelligence to thrive, for restoration to take root, and for the hidden command to become a permanent. Healing is not the final destination, it is the threshold. It is the doorway through which you step into a life aligned with the intelligence that has always existed within you. 30 days of deliberate practice, alignment, and whispering the hidden command has awakened your cells, restored your energy, and dissolved patterns of resistance. Yet the true transformation begins when you live beyond the healing, when you no longer simply respond to pain or fatigue, but move through life in the constant rhythm of restoration, clarity, and flow. Living beyond the healing requires presence. It is not a return to what was, nor is it a temporary reprieve from struggle. It is a conscious decision to operate from a state of wholeness, where your body, mind, and spirit are in dialogue, where the hidden command has become not a practice but a way of being. In this state, every action, every thought, every breath carries the resonance of restoration. Your energy no longer reacts to circumstance, it moves in harmony with life itself, responding intelligently, decisively, and effortlessly. The subtlety of this transformation is profound. Pain no longer defines you. Resistance no longer dictates your rhythm. Even fear and doubt, when they arise, are met not with struggle but with awareness, trust, and the clarity of intention that has been cultivated over 30 days. You begin to recognize that the body's intelligence is not a resource to be summoned only in crisis. It is a constant, ever-present guide, available in every moment, responding naturally when attention and intention are aligned. Living beyond the healing also reshapes perception. You begin to see the world not as a place of limitation, struggle, or scarcity, but as a field of energy, intelligence, and possibility. Your interactions, decisions, and choices flow from this understanding, grounded in the truth that restoration is not external, it is internal. The hidden command, once whispered in deliberate moments, now hums continuously within, orchestrating your life at the cellular level, guiding your energy with precision, and aligning every system of your being with the natural rhythm of life. There is freedom in this realization. You no longer wait for conditions to be perfect, for circumstances to align, or for external forces to dictate your capacity to heal or thrive. 30 days of conscious alignment has taught you that the law of life operates independently of external chaos, and that restoration, balance, and vitality are not given. They are claimed, embedded, and lived from within. Your cells have remembered their intelligence, your body has reclaimed its natural rhythm, and your life now flows in harmony with forces far greater than effort, struggle, or willpower alone. The final step in living beyond the healing is integration. Every lesson learned, the awareness that guides you, the intention that directs you, the breath that aligns you, the silence that amplifies you, the rituals that cement change, becomes part of the rhythm of life. You no longer need to think about healing. It is automatic, intelligent, and self-perpetuating. You have stepped into a life where energy flows, cells repair, and balance is constant, where the hidden command operates quietly, relentlessly, and beautifully within. And in this state you understand something that cannot be taught, it is only lived. Healing was never about fighting, fixing, or forcing. Healing was about listening, aligning, and allowing the intelligence within you to awaken, respond, and thrive. 30 days was the beginning, the ignition of a process that now carries forward indefinitely. Beyond the healing, you live not as a passive participant in life, but as a conscious co-creator with the forces that animate you, capable of sustaining vitality, energy, and restoration in every cell, in every system, in every moment. Living beyond the healing is not a reward, it is a state of being, it is a life reclaimed, a body remembered, and a spirit awakened. The hidden command is no longer hidden, it is the rhythm of your existence, the pulse of your energy, and the guiding force that ensures your life moves forward with intelligence, alignment, and unstoppable vitality. You are healed, you are whole. And in this wholeness, life itself flows through you effortlessly, beautifully, and endlessly.